can't wait to see how you can modernize it, but still preserving the historic feeling of this Braemar.
Here with Daniel, our structural engineer. And Daniel, thanks so much for joining us and also really for helping us with the structure of this home, because when Veronica and I bought it, we were super excited to buy it, right? Not because of that it's just a house and a great home for our family, but because it's the structure of it, the bones were so fun, right? So historic, so classic. And thanks for helping us make it something special.
I was so excited when I saw the entire house, the roof framing, the floor framing, and the basement framing. I saw they have like a consistency of the precise craftsmanship, and that they are well maintained back to that time.
Yes.
Of course, I saw a lot of like kind of like out of date or like a little bit deficiency due to the time, but overall, I think this house was in a good shape, and I so loved to see this one. And of course, I'm fascinated by these colors, by the shape. You know, it's just like twisted here and here. It's more like you are in a toy castle.
From a structural perspective, Daniel, one of the big pieces, and you were telling a story about this area here, because when you first walked in the house, it was very chopped up, right?
Exactly. The hallway, I believe, is pretty narrow.
It was.
And I just couldn't even fit myself. I mean, it's a little bit exhausted, but I'm thinking like now it looks like so spacious, and I'm glad that you have all these, you know, big space, and also you preserve that millwork, which you mentioned. I love that too. So glad you preserved this one, and also the fireplace.
You really helped us, you know, make this. I think overall, as we're talking about the home, what excites us is that we're taking a home that has historic character, and we're trying to preserve the feel of that while freshening it. And to some extent, freshening it is kind of bringing it back to what maybe was originally envisioned, right?
Yes.
So this was really closed and very traditional, and there was a bathroom here, right? So we needed you to help us with this, right? So all that stuff up there, share us a little bit about, you know, what you were thinking in terms of the structure.
Exactly.
That's up here.
So actually, these, you see these old wood joists. They are like, we call like a true size 2x10. Which means in the modern days, after they changing the grading, the grading rule, the 2x10 is just like a 1.5 inch by 9/4 inch. But back to that, like 100 years ago, it's like true 2x10, which means true 2 inches by almost like 10 inches. I would say 9 3/4 inches. And the material, it's not like the today's like spruce fir #2 or something. They are like a very solid stuff, like the pines, like the southern pines. Some of them probably can be traced back to like old growth oak, which you can see definitely in the old like Notre Dame, Paris. You know, they are much stronger than the current, you know, these conventional lumbers. So that's why when I saw these exposed, these 2x10s spanning like 17 feet, I saw, it's apparently not for the current code, but it's possible that it's okay by these old-fashioned lumber, because we love these old-school lumber. Today it's really, really hard to find them. I'm glad that you preserve most of them. And by adding these yellow parts, we call it like a LVL, which is the laminated veneer lumber. They are, I would say, at least twice stronger than the conventional lumber today, but they are probably just at the same strength as these old school lumber. So,
Interesting.
So today with the technology, we still can get the strength, but not the old look. You know? So we size like a beam all the way across, so we can take care of all these loads from this level.
I'm really glad that you shared that, because really, you know, even though I'm working through this and seeing all of the great, what we see here, it's much more complex than what you typically see in residential construction,
exactly.
right? Because in residential construction, we usually get things pretty square.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? But here, what we've got is right an angular entry, right, from the main home into this dogleg of the house here, and that angle that is there is coming what, like a 45 almost, right?
Yep.
So getting that right, and imagine calculating it and allowing us to open this up, which we're hoping gives the home a feel like it's always been like this.
Yes, exactly.
Here we are, we've got the second floor going up to the third, and one of the things that Veronica and I just love is how this has turned out.
Yeah.
Right? Because this was closed up. This hallway down here on the second floor was very dark. And now it just feels the design that Joe had, his concept and vision, which then you took and said, okay, this is what we got to do structurally. Now what we're left with is this open space where the light is down from the third to the second. It's just, I just love coming around this corner and seeing this rather than the dungeony area that it was before.
Exactly.
So talk a little bit about, you know, what you see here.
Yeah, exactly. When I first come here, I believe there's like a small bathroom here.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. But the bathroom is probably not in well function, and it can feel some kind of smell there. So I'm so glad it's getting out, and it takes me a little bit time to figure out what's going on here, because normally at where the stair is, the structure always get complicated, because in order to fit the stair, usually the joists turn directions and everything getting like doubled, or they use like these walls as the structure bearing wall or not. We don't know until we tear it off, but I did my best assumption, and I'm glad that it all fits, you know, per my assumption, that we can definitely remove these stuff and put like a structure beam over here and over here, and get support at that point at corner, so that everything now gets secured and safe, and then we can get almost like double, or maybe 2 times the space.
Yes.
Right? I'm glad that this natural light comes down, and you may notice that the ceiling here is already kind of like a high ceiling.
Yes.
So you got not only the 2-story height, but plus half of the attic space to get all these, you know, great feeling that, you know, this kind of atmosphere.
Yes.
So I heard that this is gonna be like your children's room over there, right?
That's
Definitely
right.
they will enjoy the view either from the top or from the bottom. It's fantastic.